Hi again. So today I've decided that I have too much eyeshadow. I know. So I thought that I would sit here and record a video of my declutter. Now I have 57 eyeshadow palettes and I don't even know how many single shadows. So I'm going to do the single shadows first. Sorry about that. And so we're going to talk, first we're going to talk about my ColourPop. I have probably, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 ColourPop Super Shock Shadows. And I really love that formula. And most of these are pretty new, so I won't be getting rid of them. So I have all these beautiful colors. That one's hard to see. It's called All In. And then, of course, my beautiful greens. And then my very first Super Shock Shadow were pink, blue, and one by Kathleen Lights. I can't think of the name of it, but because the label peeled off the back, and there used to be another label on it. So it says Tea Party. I don't know if you can see this. But that's not the actual name of this particular one. It was one of the collabs that Kathleen Lights did. And if anyone can tell me the name of this eyeshadow, because I'm starting to hit pan and I want to reorder this. Maybe Telepathy? I don't know. Anyway. And then I have a couple of the Super Shock Shadows from the Designer Disney collection. One of my favorites is Be Our Guest. And it's a beautiful, like, mauve purple color. And it's in a black container versus the regular Super Shock Shadows. But I don't know look at that packaging. Isn't that beautiful? And I have another one that is from the ColourPop Snow White collection. And it's called Hi Ho. And obviously I haven't even used it, so this one I really like. Now the lipstick from this one is a beautiful, just red. It's absolutely beautiful. And as we all know, I love red, and it's just my color. But I was a little shocked at the lip gloss on this one, because it is very just like, I don't know if you can see that, but I mean it's clear with just like some goldish beige shimmer in it. And I haven't even tried it, so obviously I'm not going to declutter this. I really love I need to stop saying I know. But I really love the ColourPop eyeshadows. And then I got another one here. It's not a Super Shock Shadow. It's from Space Case, Cosmetics, and it is a beautiful green eyeshadow that was given to me by one of my friends and subscribers. She was my friend before she became my subscriber, and that was given to me by Rihanna, and I love that color. Rihanna, not the singer. Although she could, you know, she could probably belt it out. She's a really awesome person. And I love her so much. And then the rest of these I'm going to be going through are from Bare Minerals. Now, these two minis right here, this one's an olive green and this is a lilac, and it came in like a kit forever ago. And I don't really use these loose pigmented shadows much anymore. And to be perfectly honest, I can't hardly get them out of the pot, because they have like a shadow, a glimpse, a glimmer, and I could be talking about these loose pigmented shadows all day, really, because they're quite good. And the thing is that, okay, this one, I'm just going to swatch it a little bit, dip my finger in there. For those of you who don't know, what color is this? This is a liner shadow, and this is Black Ruby. I don't know why it's called Black Ruby, but it has like a taupey pinkish shift to it. It's real pretty. But anyway, I'm gonna go through those another day, because I could be here like an hour just talking about those shadows. Here's the thing. For years and years, maybe 15 years, I used nothing but Bare Minerals. I was very brand loyal. I still love Bare Minerals. I still use their products all the time. But I found a YouTuber by the name of Kathleen Lights, and I'd watched a bunch of her videos, and she was talking about BoxyCharm. So I was curious, so I watched all, and I mean all, of her unboxing BoxyCharm videos, and the last one I saw had two things that really intrigued me in it. It had a Bare Minerals duo powder. One was matte, it was like a setting powder, and the other one was a glowy powder. And I thought, well, that's a really good value for Bare Minerals. And the other thing that was in that particular box was this palette. And this is the Blink collab with BoxyCharm, and it's their Electric Eyes palette. And I saw this, and I was like, oh, I have to have it. But then at the time, I signed up for the box, but I wasn't able to get that. It was like a June or July box, and I wasn't able to get that box. So I got the next month. And this palette on Blink's website was like $50, which was like twice the cost of the box. And I watched this palette for a long time, and I finally had the $50. At the time, Marty was not working. He had just had like a stroke, and I was the only one with an income, and I'm on disability. So, and I don't make very much money a month. I make enough to cover the rent, and that's about it. So I had saved up, and I finally got the money to buy this palette, and it went on sale for $25. And I was like, yes! I was so excited. And then I got this, and I only wanted it for the one color here. I mean, that color, I had never seen anything like that. And it was very metallic and bold. And I had always done muted eye looks. You know, I didn't want to bring any attention to myself, and then something in my crazy little head snapped and it said, color! So I started getting BoxyCharm. The first month I got BoxyCharm, I was really impressed. I got a Tarte eyeshadow palette, and I saw the value, so it was good. It was good. So, I've been with BoxyCharm for about 3 years now, and they were the reason that I decided to try different brands. And so now I have quite the budding makeup collection, and it is taking over my bedroom. And although I love eyeshadow palettes and I love eyeshadow, I do need to get it to a somewhat manageable storage solution. So I thought it was time to declutter. But just to kind of show you my Bare Minerals eyeshadows, and these are all Bare Minerals eyeshadows. The side here is nothing but Bare Minerals eyeshadows. So as you can see, I do love eyeshadow. I have quite the significant collection. Pardon me one moment. And if you were wondering, yes, this video might be a little lengthy, but I think it's going to be fun. Now, this is a judgment-free zone. So I'm just warning you right now. I'm a makeup hoarder, and I don't like to get rid of anything. Anything that I declutter today, I'm going to pass on to friends or family. So, the first brand and stack that I'm going to talk about is Too Faced. I know that Too Faced gets there's a lot of drama and slack and stuff, but I love Too Faced Cosmetics. I love everything about them except some of their slutty names. I don't really dig that, but the palettes, the products are really good, and I really enjoy them. So, as I've stated, that I really love Too Faced Cosmetics. And one of the very first eyeshadow palettes, you know, besides crap from Walmart, one of my very first palettes that I bought from that brand, it was from a video that I saw on Kathleen Light's channel, and she was doing a review on some palettes that she got in PR, and this was the palette that I first saw. The Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. Okay, I want to say, first of all, this was my really first foray into an all matte palette. There are some beautiful shades in here, although I don't know if you're going to be able, the color just seems weird. But one of the things that intrigued me about this palette she was going on and on about the smell. And I was like, oh, it can't be that good. And then I got the palette in the mail, finally, and then I did this. And then my eyes popped out of my head. I was like, this smells so good. This is infused with peach and sweet fig cream. Oh my gosh, it is good. It is good. So this is not going anywhere. I also have, this is more like, this isn't like just a sole eyeshadow palette. This is a face and eye palette. And this I've used it for both my face and my eyes. And it is the drawing a blank. It's the face and eye palette. You can use these products wet or dry. And it is the Sugar Peach palette. And I also love that so much. You're going to notice a theme with the peach. This is the little mini that they offered at Christmas time. And it is the Tickled Peach palette. The packaging is just so darn cute. It's like a little tiny, you know, perfect for traveling or carrying in your purse. And then at the same time, they had the Sugar Cookie palette, which I noticed that they kind of have a similar flair. But I love them both and I use them quite a lot. Okay, now the second palette I got from them, I heard so many people, so many YouTubers talking crap about this palette. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna like go to Sephora or Ulta and I'm gonna check it out. And it was the Festival palette. And this has a really nice range. It has a couple of shadows that kind of are like duochromed. And then they have this really nice highlighter right there in the center. And it's that Unicorn Tears color, which it's like blue, but it morphs to pink or lavender. But if you can still get this palette, I would definitely highly recommend it because it is absolutely useful. Alright. The next palette that I have in my beautiful Too Faced collection is their Sweet Peach palette. And here it is. I haven't had this one that long. And I've only used a couple of shades, but so far I like it. And because it's so new, it'll be staying. I also have gotten the Gingerbread Spice palette. Love, love, love. And then we all remember my reaction to the Pretty Mess palette from the Slutty Housewife of Beverly Hills. But I really am glad I bought this. But it kind of has the same like color story as like the Huda, the new excuse me, New Nudes palette, the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. So maybe I'm gonna put that in a pile to, if I don't use it within the next 6 months, to declutter it. Okay. The next palette that I have to share with you is this beautiful berry palette. It smells like, it really smells like raspberries, but this is the Razzle Dazzle Berry Eyeshadow Palette. And I really like it, but I have an issue every time I want to open it, because you have to open it right there. Otherwise it sits perfectly flat, and you're like, where do I open it at? You know, so that can be a little tricky for me. I have the Cocoa, the old, not the new one, but the old Cocoa Contour palette right here. And I'm not a big contouring girl, but I use these for eyeshadows. So, and I'm not gonna, I already own the Cocoa Contour, although the new Cocoa Contour has 2 more shades in it. I saw it and I was like, you know what? No, I'll pass. The next palette, I have 2 more from Too Faced. The next one I had was from the Pretty Rich collection. And here are there's that one. I've only used like the pressed glitters in here. So I'm not going to get rid of that just yet because I'm still using it quite a bit. Now this is an oldie but a goodie. This is the Too Faced Natural Love palette. Now if you are a Too Faced fan, you'll know that they just released a Natural Lust palette, but I'm still trying to make up my mind about this one, whether I like it or not. I mean, I'm not really doing the more muted tones and looks anymore, so that is going to go in the maybe pile. And then this last palette from Too Faced, I could not wait to get my hot little hands on. First of all, let's talk about this packaging. It's beautiful. Very glittery. This was celebrating their 20th year, and they did this, like, their original 10 eyeshadows, and then they did the original 10 and reinvented. So this was a more expensive palette, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the price, I almost wet myself. But these are some beautiful shades, and if you want some color in your life, just pop some color. Or if you want to play with different textures, this one you can't go wrong with. If this is something that you're thinking about purchasing, I would try to sign up for like their percentage off. You can check for sales and stuff, because I think I paid $50 or $55 maybe for this. And so it was quite, and they're beautiful shades, but that palette is so huge. Okay, now I have a couple of large palettes. There's 2 of them that I will never, well, I'm not going to say never, but I won't be decluttering anytime soon. And it's the Emily palettes from Makeup Revolution. This palette has gotten so much crap. People are complaining about they can't work with the pigments. They're not pigmented. Well, if you ever watch her videos, you'll see that she says that it's buildable coverage, buildable color. You're not going to have like dip into the brush, put some on your eye, and then have like the most intense pigment you've ever seen. But I mean, I like Makeup Revolution. I think they're a great line, and the price point is right on. I mean, this is a huge palette for 20 bucks. And it took me forever to get my hands on it. So, and then the other one it's an eye and face palette, and the colors are really muted, you know, for the eyes, but you can build it up to something quite smoky. But these two palettes right here, combined, if you bought these, it would be $35, and you have like a whole wardrobe. Then my other two pretty large palettes, the first one is from Morphe. It was my very first Morphe palette. Not that I have a lot, I have two. But this one, it's very colorful, and I think, what is the name of this palette? The Artistry palette, the 35M Boss Mood. I shut it, and now I can't open it. I don't think I am in love with this. I would love it if they had the names of the shadows on it, but you have to, they're on this little thing here, so you can never throw it away. But it has some beautiful, vibrant greens and some other colors. I really love the greens. I am all about green eyeshadow. I always have been. I go through phases where I'm like, it's okay. But I will always be a green eyeshadow girl. And then the other eyeshadow palette I got from Morphe, I got in a BoxyCharm. And here that is. Has a couple of nice pink pops in there. And this was the Brunch Babe 15B. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't even touched this. But I am wanting to get some more use out of it. Now, I did receive a Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions palette. And I think I love this. But I'm wanting to compare this to my Naked Cherry palette, because I think I have some of the same shades. And if that's the case, then someone needs to go bye-bye. Okay. Now, as I've said, I love ColourPop. I have the Twinkling Lights Super Shock Shadow Foursome, and by Kathleen Lights. I won't be getting rid of that. I love their formula. There's another thing that you won't see me declutter anytime soon. I bought all these shadows individually and placed them in the pans. I love their eyeshadow formula. And then I have a couple of the new, it's a different packaging. It's the plastic packaging. And I have, It's My Pleasure. I need to stop saying all the time. It's My Pleasure and Just My Luck. Just My Luck is that green color story, and then the It's My Pleasure color stories are like the mauves and the purples. It's quite beautiful. I take this one when I go to St. Louis to my doctor's appointments. And then I have a couple of palettes that are collabs. The Kathleen Lights Dream Street collection that I took out of here and put it in a other different pan because one of my eyeshadows came broken. I think Mermaid Man or Mermaid Boy, whichever. Mermaid Boy. And then I have I was like, I lost one. And then Kathleen Lights came out with the Zodiac collection. And I really I'm a big fan of ColourPop and Too Faced. You'll probably never hear me say very negative stuff about them. This one is another ColourPop collab with Shayla. And it was their Perception palette. And then the Disney Designer collection. Here is that palette. Those are a lot of the same shades I have, and the only reason I got this was because it was the Disney Designer palette. And then I have this palette, which is from, I think it was from a BoxyCharm. And it's the Golden State of Mind palette. Has some orangey colors in it. I think they're all shimmer. Either shimmers. Yeah, they're all shimmer shades. So I haven't just, that's in the, I'm going to put that in the maybe pile. And then I got this Maelle palette. I think it was a bronze palette or something. Yeah, Sunkissed bronzer. I used, again with, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to keep this because I like using this when I travel for bronze because I use it on my eyes, my face. And another palette here we have from Tarte. It's the Dream Big palette, and I absolutely, oh, that's horrible. I absolutely love that palette. My very first Tarte palette is the Rainforest of the Sea. And this packaging is everything, man. It is just gorgeous. And it is volume 2. I am putting in this in the Gotta Go palette. I don't use that. And then we have the Rainforest of the Sea volume 3 eyeshadow palette. Honestly, I don't even know if I've even used this one. Yeah, I've never even touched this one. This is going to go in a giveaway. So that's a bye-bye. I'm not sure how I feel about this particular palette. I have OCD, and you know, this just drives me crazy. The colors are beautiful, but I don't know. It's like the shadow placement. I mean, you could have done a lot of stuff there. This is from Smith & Colt. It's called The Book of Eyes in Icy Tears. And I think that's going to go. The Laura Lee Party Animal palette. I know there's a lot of hate for Laura Lee going around, especially with comments she's made, but I love the palette. I actually enjoy it. It was one of my first bold palettes. This was the Ace Beauty Grandiose palette. I love this color right here. It's just totally gorgeous. So that's going to stay in the stay pile. The Protege palette by Suva. You know what? I've never even used this palette. So I'm going to donate that to the local women's shelter for battered and abused women. This is just a magnetic palette. This is a palette by Sephora. It's the Midnight Wishes palette right here. And I have a million colors like everything that's in this palette. So this is going in the bye-bye pile. Next, we have a baby palette from Kat Von D in Shade and Light. I bought this and then I thought, damn, I just wasted my money because I really don't care for those shades. So that's going bye-bye. I have both of the Alamar palettes. One I got in my BoxyCharm, which was her first launch. And I absolutely love this palette. I really am digging on Alamar Cosmetics. This is with the volume 2. And these are crazy pigmented, and like I said, I love her stuff. Although she hasn't released a ton of it, but I'm really, fond of her stuff. This is the Nightingale palette by Pretty Vulgar. And I'm not really into cool shades, so that's going to go. Next, we have the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette. And there's no way I could declutter this palette. Not because it's my favorite palette and I love it so much. It's because I spent $65 of Marty's money, and if I get rid of it, he will probably ask me for a divorce. This next palette I got in a Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. It's the Moods palette from Laura Sanchez. And although it's a beautiful colored palette, I don't see me using this anytime soon. And the mirror came broken. So I have a girlfriend of mine that I believe is going to love this palette. My next palette is from Violet Voss, and it is the My Holy Grail, My Holy Grail palette. And I really like this palette. So it's going to stay in my collection. I had gotten one of their fun size palettes, the HD one, and I've already decluttered it from my collection. I also have from Violet Voss Berry Burst and Fruit Sorbet. Here's Berry Burst. And then we have Fruit Sorbet. And look at all those fun bright colors. Look at that yellow. That yellow is to die for. Now, the next couple of palettes are almost exclusively from BoxyCharm. This is the Pure Sculpting Palette. And I'm not a big fan of this, so this is going to go. The Winky Lex palette, the Kitten palette. I like that one, so I'm going to keep a hold of that. I have the, from Crown Brushes or Crown or whatever, I have their Glam Metals palette. And I think that's going to go in the maybe pile. Whoop! And my pile is trying to tip over. We're coming to the end, folks. We're coming to the end. Then I have the Cover Effects palette in the shade Dark, Medium Deep. They sent me the wrong color, but that's okay because I use these for eyeshadows, so I'm not mad at it. We have the Midnight Masquerade palette from Pure. I get a lot of use out of that palette in the winter. I just got this from Pure like last month from BoxyCharm. And although I'm not a fan of the glitter on the other colors, I definitely am loving at the moment. Last year, the BoxyCharm and Pure Cosmetics collaboration, I wore the crap out of this last summer. Especially these two shades right here and there. You'd think they wouldn't go together, but they looked great together. So I think I'm going to pull this out of retirement and give it some love this summer. This next one is from Makeup Forever. They released a couple of 9-pan artist palettes. It's called the 9 Artist Shadow Palette. And Artist Shadows. These are just beautiful. Although that purple got gouged somehow. Probably by my crazy nails. Okay, we're coming down to the last 4 palettes. Now this is my one and only Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and it is the Riviera. This is I have used this a couple of times. This is my newest palette that I've actually spent my own money on, that hasn't come in a subscription box, and I still am loving that palette. And then of course my baby Naked Cherry for those days when I'm feeling a little bit more demure and don't want to do an eye makeup that screams, "Look at me!" Gotcha, didn't I? I gotcha. And then another palette that I really love, but I struggle with my looks on it. I don't know why I keep these things in boxes. They're a real pain in the keister. This is from Urban Decay, and it's their Born to Run palette. And it has just beautiful, beautiful colors in there. Marty bought that for me on Valentine's Day when it was in the middle of a nice storm and the mall was closing, I think. Oh, no, it wasn't Valentine's Day. I digress. He bought this for me on my birthday. among all other things. And the last palette that we have today to take a look at is from BH Cosmetics. Oops. This is the Take Me Back to Brazil palette. And these colors, I mean, they're bright, they're bold, they're in your face. And I love them, but I just don't think I'm going to hang on to this. I know someone who desperately needs something like this in their collection. Well, they don't have a collection. So, let's see. I have successfully decluttered hardly nothing. So, in the definitely rid of box, we've got the, ooh, that was almost bad. We have the Take Me Back to Brazil palette. We're decluttering Glam Metals, Midnight Wishes, the Sculptor, the Moods palette, the Nightingale palette. I'm not really sure about the Smith & Cold. I haven't decided quite yet. This one is going in a giveaway. This one is in the Bye Bye palette. And the Shade and Light by Kat Von D. So, out of my huge collection here, I am decluttering. Dang. And I thought I was doing so good. 9 palettes. Which only means one thing. Would you like to know what it is? Okay, I'm going to tell you. A declutter for me personally, oh, that looked horrible, means that this girl now can buy some new stuff. Marty doesn't know that I'm going to buy some new eyeshadow palettes, so shh, don't tell him. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and if you made it to the end, thanks for sticking with me. I do want to tell you that I'm going to be uploading a video tomorrow, and the contents of that video is I'm going to talk about a giveaway I'm going to do. And it is open to all subscribers. You have to be subscribed to participate in this giveaway. But I'm going to tell you that this is going to be a great giveaway. There is going to be blush, eyeshadow, mascara, and who knows what else. But it's definitely going to be a nice size prize for the person that wins it. This is going to be fun, and I hope you guys win. So, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Smash that like button or hit that subscribe button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next video. Oh, P.S. If there's anything you'd like to see me do, any content, comment down below. And I will do my best to make it happen for you. Bye, babes.